Welcome to the Evening Gamer. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Guy. Welcome, everybody.
Another week, another couple of games.
That's it. That's why you tune in. That's what you listen for.
Are we, and you love my questions live on the pod, are we going to take a break for Easter?
No.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's record next week and then have a week off. I think we're owed one. We did have a write-in from our Iron Cowboy. I don't know if I said it right.
Old Sunny Coast. Thanks for the corrections, buddy.
hey, don't you buddy a listener. You'd have every right to email us and go, shut up, you champ.
That's fair. I'll take a champion.
You'd take a champ.
I'll take a champion. That's all right.
So wait, if you're in the gym and some guy comes up to you and goes like, good set, champ.
If he listened to the podcast, I'd be like, fair enough. If he didn't, I don't know, headbutt him.
Oh, straight to violence.
You can't take a champing in the gym. Who the fuck takes a champing in the gym? If you took a champing on the chin in the gym, you can't go back there.
I think if you take a champ anywhere, you've got to bite back on that and be like, whatever command.
Just happens
that was a terrible
comeback. The one person you champ is just an American. He's like, thanks, buddy. Good to see you too, bro.
Yeah, it goes over their head.
It.
Yeah, it doesn't get it. Not that all Americans are, wouldn't get the subtleties of that social situation.
Then you just go, all right, cunt.
His correction, it has been. Whoa! Did you just? I know we've got a swearing allowance on this pod.
I think I've said that before on here. I don't know why you're so.
God, all right. I won't follow you on that one. So his correction corner, he sent us in. He gave us a question. His correction. We haven't had a correction in a while. I said, and I can't even remember the context of what we were talking about. Any press is good press. I think it was about Ubisoft. It was about Assassin's Creed. All the controversy. Put it in the media, and of course the saying is not any press is good press. I think it is any bad press. Now I'm fucking switching myself.
Bad press is good press.
Any press is good press. Fuck it.
I'm pretty
Whatever.
sure you said it the right way.
No, I'm pretty sure he's right. I did say it the wrong way, and now I've just tongue twisted myself. Anyway, there you go. And he also wrote in with a question, which was Candace Cadham Edit, Bully, was sort of known by a couple of titles. Came out, obviously, a while ago.
I remember playing that when I was in primary school, I reckon.
Yeah, same. I was. I think. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Hell of a fucking game.
It reminded me. It gave me like Harry Potter vibes, like when you're running around Hogwarts in those early Harry Potter games, where it's like all kind of the graphics are sort of that old school kind of way.
Yeah, and it's such
grainy kind of overlay.
And you relate to it so well as well, because you're like, I go to school, I have a bedtime, and like in those games, you're out of bed in the hallways where you're
skateboarding around the streets, graffitiing.
If you were to play that
just
game
being
now,
a bad kid. But I remember that game had so much controversy when it came out, because it was really like furthering that sort of 90s opinion of if you play violent video games, you become inherently violent, which is sort of laughable now. But it was such a topic back in that period of time.
It was. Can you imagine playing those games as like a now 30-year-old, and one of the missions is like, yo, let's sneak out of bed, and you're just like, why?
Yeah, I think it certainly was, for a specific audience.
100%.
But I mean, I think there's obviously a whole generation that have that, a sort of a love of that game and the nostalgia piece for it. And what Iron Cowboy's question was really around was, will Rockstar mine it again, go back to it? I think it is one that I often see kind of come up on Reddit, of obviously Red Dead they did, and then they've done, Red Dead 2 Redemption.
Oh, you mean a sequel?
Yeah, a sequel, probably a direct sequel. And my feelings probably not.
No.
I'll put this to
bed for you right now. There's absolutely no way they do that.
Yeah, okay, on record. Put it to bed.
I just feel like Rockstar has become such a company that follows that idea of less is more. Like, their releases have been so stagnated over the last decade. They seem to go more into the online component because they make great games. Look, after GTA 6, I'm going to hang my hat up in terms of expecting things from Rockstar. Because the timeline that they stick to, like, they're not going to go out of their way to push games that don't need sequels. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. I think I by and large agree with that of going, it's obviously an IP of theirs that had, people who played it when they were younger enjoyed it. But I think that was when Rockstar was kind of finding their feet, and they were a bit more experimental. I think a lot back then, so many more games were just way more experimental in trying out different things, but they've now landed on the winning ticket. And I think the only thing that I think GTA, and I could be quoted wrong on this, I remember seeing an article that they really wanted to do like a sci-fi kind of spacefaring kind of game. And, that kind of fits for me if they've got the modern day, sort of GTA style, obviously main marquee title of theirs, and then they've got the Rockstar Western, is sort of the only thing they don't really have in their suite per se is that futuristic kind of sci-fi vibe, which I think they do fantastic at. But at a high school sort of kids thing, it'd almost be like the Warriors. Also, that game was such a precursor to some of their other ones. I just think some of those older titles, I could not see Rockstar themselves going back to. I could see them leasing the IP to another developer, who was on the up, and trying to give that a fan love letter sequel. But I can't see them going back to it.
What that game was made around, the era that it was made for. School now is astronomically different to that time period.
Yeah, it'd be. I love the idea. You go to school.
Smartphones.
Yeah.
Shit,
you go to back then. It was like you'd have to do mini games for different classes and stuff like that. Whereas now it's like you go in and then do a mini game on your iPad to do your.
Like, can you imagine trying to avoid a bully that has you on Find My Friends? Like, it's just, you know what I mean?
I don't know why the bully's got Find My Friends for you.
It's such a different era. I feel like school's not a happy place, especially in the States. Fuck me, you'd have to have a mission in there of a school shooting. If we're going to stick to that historically accurate bullshit we were talking about a couple episodes ago.
You really...
I'm tired.
You're pushing it today, mate.
I'm just kidding. But I just... Look, to put a lid on it, there's no way. Look, after GTA 6, I'm not following Rockstar anymore as a gamer. I think this will be one of their biggest projects. I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of their last projects. Like, what? I don't know.
Way.
I feel like they've put so much into this. I just don't see anything happening from Rockstar in the next 15 years after.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying.
And like by the time that comes around, mate, fuck me, would almost be 50.
I mean, I will remain following Rockstar for what they have next because they've earned the title, and I think it'd be really tough to disagree with me on this, of the best publisher developer gaming company in the world. Arguably there's no one really coming close to them currently. I'm thinking sort of Naughty Dog. There's maybe some other ones that have had some hella titles over the years, but nothing quite.
I would say From Software, maybe Obsidian.
Yeah.
And if you want to talk scale, then you could argue Mojang. They did Minecraft, but in terms of grand slams in a fucking row,
I mean,
no one. Absolutely no one.
Yeah. So I think what they'll do after GTA is they'll probably do another Red Dead. I think they've said they're going to go back to that one more time.
They're going to do a third Red Dead.
I think so. I mean, I'm really clutching at articles I've read probably a little while ago now, but I think they will turn out something else in the not too distant future. Maybe 3, 4, 5 years, and then probably do another GTA, because it is a money-making machine.
It is.
They know that people are going to buy them, and they're, I think, still enjoying pushing the boundary, because I still think the developments they did in GTA 5 of the level of detail in that game is unrivaled. Like, it is just amazing what they were able to achieve in that game, and the little very very minute details they put in that made it such a realistic, livable in game. That's so immersive that I think when technology pushes for the next 5 to 10 years, and we've already talked about this sort of stuff, an AI sort of element that coming into video games, generative stuff. If Rockstar kind of put their spin on it, fucking, it'll fly off the shelves.
Yeah, I just think for me, like, I think I'm done following Rockstar after this. Like, I don't know, this whole narrative and following the story of GTA 6, it's actually been fucking pretty exhausting as a gamer, as a fan.
In what way?
Like, we're still talking about this game.
Well,
You know what I mean? And I'm so excited for it, and I'm going to play the shit out of it. But after it, I'm just going to close the book on following Rockstar.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll
Imagine
probably
waiting for
disagree
your
on it.
artist's favorite album for fucking 15 years, and still in the year of launch, they don't even narrow down a date, and they're keeping all of your other favorite artists from releasing their own albums. Like, you can't just get to the end of it, and you're actually a bit fucking fatigued. It's like, drop the game.
I mean, that's one way to look at it. I'm probably glass half full more on it, of going, the love I've got for those Red Dead games, for the GTAs, for Warriors, for Canis Catamatic back in the day. I'm super stoked for it, and I'm certainly not getting fatigued with the amount of conversation and whether it's halting other games. We're going to get these games. We've obviously just gotten Assassin's Creed. We're about to get the Night Rain one. There's going to be a bunch of good releases that are going to come up in the lead up to that. That's going to keep us busy. And when GTA drops, I'm going to take those days off work and sink my teeth into it. And in 4 years' time, when they go, all right, we're doing another Red Dead, I'll be there going, yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, nah, that's fair.
I think you're just a little tired today. You're a bit grumpy.
I'm not grumpy. I don't know. There's only, like, I love Rockstar, and as I said, Grand Slam after Grand Slam, no doubt, up there with probably the best publisher in the world. They've deserved it. They earned it.
Yeah.
But there is also only so much sitting in front of a mirror wanking I can take.
Oh my
Drop
word.
the game. Bring out the second trailer. Stop fisting everyone. Bring the game out. Yeah. And I think I'm just a bit turned off because you made a good point earlier in this episode that other games are now getting delayed. Yeah. And I am so excited for Subnautica 2.
Are you more excited for Subnautica than you are GTA 6?
I think in different ways. I think when GTA's finally announced and we're a week out, I will be more excited for that game than probably any game that I've ever waited to drop.
Yeah.
But there are so many other good games this year, man. And Subnautica is one of them. And that is such an immersive experience. If that is anything like the first, and they grow that from the first, that will be fucking such an epic game to play.
I mean,
and even Little Nightmares, I'm sitting here waiting. It's fucking April, mate. I was talking to a client today, and our next meeting is booked in for July. That's the 7th month of the year. The year is moving, and I just feel like nothing is moving with it. And you made a good point that the reason that might be is because GTA is pulling up stumps on their release date again.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I don't know. I'm just not as concerned about the other release dates. It's I think you got to pay your dues, and GTA has earned the crown, and so they'll release it when they want to, and other game developers have to play smart business and release it when they should, hence why they're obviously not announcing it, and I think when we get to doing the reviews, and if you think back to when you played GTA 5, how good a game it was, how detailed it was, I think a Subnautica 2 is yes, it'll be good, but I think it won't have the cultural hit that GTA will. I think it'll be a good game. I think Little Nightmares 2, which you've mentioned, will be a good game too.
They won't have anywhere near the same.
But this is, and I often refer to it in a cinematic sense. This is Christopher Nolan doing Homer's Odyssey, filming it at the moment. When that movie gets released, it is going to be. It's like when Dune 2 was released. I'm just thinking back to some of the most recent ones of the next Scorsese film, for example. This is what we're kind of putting it akin to. Of it's this game will go down in history. Is probably the most played. Most sales in opening day first week.
Yeah, agreed. How are you enjoying Assassin's Creed?
I was going to talk about that. We've obviously taken up a fair bit of the episode talking about GTA, and we've got a review to get to. But yeah, Assassin's Creed. How am I enjoying it? I think I'm about halfway. I've cleared out.
About halfway through the game.
I think so. Yeah.
I was surprised by how big the map is.
Yeah, it's large. It's very big. I've cleared out 3 whole sections of the map basically completely.
Wow.
And I am at first I was.
You've been gaming, my man.
Yeah, I've been putting in some hours to GTA.
Your boy hasn't been.
GTA,
If only.
Assassin's Creed.
Fucking on my heart,
Jeez.
my thought.
Yeah,
I was like,
I'm tired as
someone
well.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have been putting in some hours recently, and like it's one of those games where like I know at the outset I was trepidatious about it. You know, I wasn't sure about it. I was a bit sort of been there, done that. You know, the various other ones, and the more I'm playing it, the more I am enjoying it. Oddly
That's
enough.
good. No, your prediction was fine, and it was based on evidence historically.
Yeah, I thought Ubisoft was going to butcher it like they'd done in the past. That they were going to release it and the graphics were going to not be done well. They've done that in the past, or the servers not being fully functional and things not working correctly, you know, and there was going to be patches and fixes and all the rest of it. But it plays good out of the box, and by and large, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'll save a lot of the comments I've got for when we do our full review.
Yeah, I was going to make a few comments, but I'll do the same. Moving on.
Yes, review time.
This is meant to be a review episode.
This is a review episode. I look forward to this one.
And I've been wanting to review this game for a while. It's a Souls-like, and as you know, your boy is fucking huge on Souls-like games. It's not a FromSoft. This is an A44 developer game and published by Annapurna Interactive in 2018. It's the Souls-like RPG Ashen.
Ashen. I hasn't really crossed my desk, so this might be all you. I can't really throw much color into this one for you.
And well, the game needed more color, just as a first comment.
Okay.
But dear listeners, this is a reverse referral. This is one that you told us to play.
Nice. Who requested this one?
This was old Benny Boy.
Brother from another
Wrote in
mother.
some time ago, I would dare say over a year ago, suggesting this game. And I initially picked it up and played probably 10 hours and then was like, oh, not sure. And then came back to it, gave it a really red hot crack, got through like part 1 and it ramped up in part 2 and it kind of hooked me. And
nice.
I managed to get, I would say, 85% of the way through. It's a game that I'm pretty excited to review because I think it's not a main label. Like they're kind of roadhousey publishers like A44.
Yeah.
Not overly familiar with them. I'm sure they have some other PC games out there. Are you familiar with A44?
No, no idea.
It's got a very interesting kind of art style. Its mechanics and how it plays was a bit of a nuanced for me. But kind of getting into it, the story of Ashen is pretty straightforward. Essentially, the world is created from this ashen bird that provides light to 9 realms. It falls, it becomes an ash. It falls into under ash, which, given the name Ashen, kind of saps the world of light. You know, breeding darkness and kind of birthing these monsters that lurk within the darkness. Now, without going on to a game rant or a game wiki, that's really all you kind of pick up from the storyline from the game, especially at the beginning. So the story that it takes you on it's kind of a non-event. Like this is more of a game that has a world that you need to go and explore. It has a lot of different NPCs that try to add color into the game, but really they have conflicts of their own. So in terms of a storyline, it's really just kind of eventually go and kill this big boss that caused this whole thing and free the Ashen Bird. Like that's essentially all that you have to do.
Fair.
If from a mechanic perspective, this took me a little bit of getting used to. When I think of Souls games, I still very much think of Demon Souls, the Dark Souls, Sekiro, games that are really centered around movement as a means of survival. But this is slow. Like its mechanics were slow. The combat takes time. It's almost so based on timing that it's almost turn-based. Like that's kind of how you fight. Like you very much either arm a sword and shield and you wait to defend from an enemy and then you attack, or there's really no spammy element in this game from a mechanical perspective. If you spam, you will die. In terms of armor and movement, there's really only jump, light attack, heavy attack, and dodge. And when you change armor, you become really heavy and it really impacts your movement. Like it's a game that constantly gives you challenge, but in different ways. So the mechanics rather slow, took a lot of time to get used to, and you die a fucking lot in this game.
Fair. I'm just looking up A24 and what other games they've done. So
A44.
they did Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn.
Oh, there you go. Okay, that one I'm familiar with.
Which is sort of a Souls-like, came out not that long ago. And they're a New Zealand-based developer, which,
really?
I'm sort of always love the Kiwis. And
There you go.
it's interesting, like the Flintlock game, I remember seeing that one come out. I didn't give it a go, but the looking at Ashen compared to Flintlock, I feel like what we're watching with this, what is it, A44 or whatever they're called, is a developer on the up and up. I think the enhancements in their graphics from what Ashen was, which seemed a little bit kind of rudimentary 90s-ish kind of style, to the Flintlock, which looked visually really cool. I think they're heading in a good direction.
Yeah, I actually liked the art style. Like, if you look up Ashen, you'll notice that the character, there's no defining features of the character. You're very much a block person. You have no face. The art style is very cartoony, is probably the best way to put it, but it kind of looks really nice. It flows in the game really well. Like, when we think of art styles and graphics these days, you kind of envisage like Ghost of Tushma almost, when you're walking through one of those fields, and like that's what a graphically beautiful game looks like. Ashen's not really like that. It is kind of empty from a graphic perspective, but it suits it really, really nicely. In terms of the challenge and entertainment, it's a super challenging game.
Yeah, right.
Like, I can't, like, this is a 1 or 2 hits, you're dead kind of game. And with the slow movement, you die a lot. I don't think this game really kind of balanced well between challenge and entertainment. Like, I remember so vividly, there's this one cave which almost feels like it's never ending, and you need to actually get to the end of this cave to beat one of the bosses. It's a main objective. Now, whenever you do a mission in one of these games, or you take on an objective from an NPC, you get given a companion, and that companion changes based on the NPC stories that you're completing at that point in time. So the companion that you have is able to kind of res you. You get 1 res. They're really needed in terms of soaking up attention from enemies when you need to heal, and in terms of helping you beat enemies as well. And I remember this one cave that I went into, like, I reckon to get from start to finish, if you were going to kill all of the enemies and loot everything and do it in one go, it was a cave that took about 45 minutes to an hour, and there were no checkpoints throughout the cave.
Yeah, right. Jeez.
And you walk in with about 6 heals. There are times throughout the cave where you can replenish your heals, but you need to get to the end of it to actually get the next checkpoint, so that if you die, you can go back in. Man, it took me, I would say, 15 goes of dying really close to the end and having to come back. So the replayability can be really frustrating. And I don't know if like, when I think of that whole game over aspect to gaming, I think that's something gaming left behind in the 90s. Is kind of this, if you die, almost like the rogue lights, right? Like, if you die, you go back to the beginning. Sorry, game over. Better luck next time. And I don't know that when you have a game that needs to be completed, when you put an objective in front of a gamer that's long, I don't actually know if I vibed with the whole go back and do the whole thing again. Yeah. It's like, that doesn't really encapsulate what an evening gamer would enjoy for me, because it did get frustrating. You get so close to the end and you die, and you're like, holy shit, I need to do all of that again. Yeah. And it's dropped my runes at my death point too. Ooh. So, like, even everything that I've gotten to upgrade throughout this cave, I'm going to potentially fucking lose. Yeah. Because I can't make my way back. So
you got to really enjoy the game. You got to
really enjoy it. But, like, challenge through the roof, entertaining, definitely entertaining, but I don't know if it's a balanced metric here. Right. In terms of, did they nail how challenging it should be versus how entertaining it should be?
So it was very challenging, but not super entertaining.
Yeah, and I think games are too long these days to have a cave that takes an hour that you potentially have to do 15 times. That's just my take on it.
Fair.
Character dev and build. Look, I don't want to say non-existent, but much of a non-event. Like, your character doesn't really develop defining relationships with anyone in the game. The NPCs certainly have stories that you need to uncover, but a lot of the time you're not too interested in them. Like, you really kind of only go to these NPCs to either level up your armor, to make potions, to sell things, to buy things. You're not really too engaged with their story. All the stories do really is just launch you into a new objective, and you're like, okay. You do explore a lot of the map, as I said, with the companions, but outside of kind of armor, weapons, potions, any character development and build is rather basic. Loot and extras. This was actually one of its better pillars. Like, you're really well rewarded. Like, that cave that you get through, you get some really cool shit in there.
Nice.
You find some really nice armor. There's tons of different weapons. Upgrading those weapons worked really nicely, and you really felt the impact of it. Like, you'd go through a cave with one weapon, and you're like, I'm going to level up another weapon and try something different. And you'd see immediately the impact. I feel like a lot of Souls games actually don't get right. I don't know if Elden Ring got it really nice, in a really nice kind of space in terms of using different weapons and seeing the immediate impact of those weapons. But this game really did. So tactically, really entertaining. And in terms of extras, there were some caves and some enemy builds that were really surprising. Like, there's this one devil eyes enemy that's in dark caves, and it kind of swoops you and grabs you, and it one shot kills you if it grabs you. So you have to like time dodges perfectly. Eventually, by the end of the game, you're ramping up. You're versing like 5 or 6 of them at once.
Damn.
Like, it's fucking crazy. But there was a nice little touch. The main area, which is essentially a round table, like every Souls game has a hub, has a round table. It actually builds itself up from the ground, and it's unrecognizable by the end of the game.
Yeah,
so, like, at first, it's just a campfire. You go off, you do a couple of objectives, you come back, someone's built a hut, and you can, like, upgrade your armor in that hut. And you go out and you do a few other missions, and you come back, and someone that you met out on the road has come back, and they've built, like, another fire, and that's where you do your potions. And, like, gradually, by the end of the game, you have, like, a city.
That's cool. That sounds really cool.
That was, like, I fucking loved it. And, like, that kind of staged progression was a huge motivator to keep going. Look, all in all, there were times where I was rushing home from work to play it. But it got frustrating at the end. It got frustrating to the point it's like, I'm not going to continue repeating out levels. And I got right towards the end boss, just before him, and put it down. So I feel like I know enough about the game to give it this review. But all in all, entertaining. Certainly enjoyed it, but not a groundbreaker. So for me, storyline, I gave it a 6.6. Again, really hard to engage with it after the first cutscene. Feel mechanics, I gave it a 7. It works for the game, but it takes some learning. As I said, there were a few nuances there, especially moving from Souls games that are really centered around movement and pace. Challenge and entertainment, I gave a 7.8. Super entertaining, way too challenging. And I'm someone that I've gotten through Sekiro. Yeah. I've done 6 run-throughs of Elden Ring. I've played Dark Souls. This, from a challenge perspective, I think tops them all. And like, I'm not just, throwing the baby out with the bathwater saying it's too hard for me. No, it's not that. I don't think it navigated the balance of those two metrics well. Right. Character build and dev, nonplussed, 5 out of 10. Loot and extras, best pillar, 8 out of 10. And overall, it came in at a 6.88, which is just above the Steam rating of a flat 6. If you love Souls games, play it. If you get frustrated, if you're a controller breaker, do not fucking play this. I played it on M&K, and I tend not to get too frustrated at games anymore. Look, overall enjoyed this, but frustrating times.
Fair. Well, so that was a write-in from Ben. Was it his favorite game? Did he?
I think he just suggested it, and like, I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it was Ben. This was over 12 months ago. We got the write-in, but really enjoyed the recommendation. It was something that was not on my radar, and it gave me a good handful of hours of fun.
Fair enough. I love how you said really enjoyed the recommendation. 6.6.
Well, I mean, 6.88. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
You got to judge a game on its merits, and I think it did like a 6.88. Means it did some things really well, as we've said, like really challenging and some at times very entertaining. Loot and extras, fantastic. Feel mechanics, I think worked well for the game, but then it just didn't nail a few other things like character dev and build, as I said, non-event. And those things, you get 5 out of 10s in a rating, it weighs the whole thing down.
That's very low. That is crazy low. It is, you know, I mean, this comes back to like the whole, you know, our reviews are obviously opinion based, you know, and like always appreciate someone writing in and sort of saying, hey, check this game out, you know, and we'll give it a run, we'll give it a go. But yeah, I'm just sort of 6.88 sort of, I hope Ben's not sitting there going, it's my favorite game, you fucking losers.
I don't think it would be his favorite game, but, and like, don't get me wrong, I loved it, but I gotta judge it on its merits, and
the pillars don't lie. The
they
pillars
do
don't lie.
not lie, but like a really nice, smallish, simple, fun game.
Yeah.
There's just going to be stages where you get a bit frustrated, and that's it.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, loved it. Like,
okay, yeah, fair enough. So, did you? I think I sent you a clip on this. Just moving on, just sort of. I feel like we're going to wrap up the episode soon. The clip of Elon Musk on his plane.
Playing?
Yeah, he's on his plane and he's playing.
Was he playing again?
He's playing Path of Exile 2,
That's the
which
one. Actually looks alright.
It hasn't released on console yet, but you could probably play it on an M&K, and I'd recommend it. It's sort of Diablo style, but deeper, like way deeper.
Top down, point click kind of thing.
Yeah. But like the skill tree is one of the largest I think that any game has ever kind of done. Like the skill tree is insane.
Sometimes complicated skill trees turn me off.
If that's the case, you'll look at this thing and you'll be like, fuck off.
Like that's actually why
huge.
I struggled so much with Witcher 3. Is because I think I was playing Apex like massively at that point in time. I tried to play Witcher 3. And
I'm just trying to remember the skill tree of Witcher.
I just remember it being
too difficult,
deep. In terms of, look, maybe it's only because I scratched the surface, but sometimes.
Have you finished Witcher?
No.
Taylor. Oh, you got to put that on the list.
I know,
my friend.
and I've watched the TV show and I've read the books.
Wow.
And for some reason, one of my favorite hobbies, gaming, is where I've fallen over with that franchise. I don't know why. The 4th looks fucking amazing, so maybe I will go back and brush up the 3rd.
Yeah, I mean the 4th, looks really good. But anyway, so yeah, Elon Musk, he's playing on his plane, and like he's already gotten hit because he was clearly boosting his account or something like that. And so he logs in and he's playing the tutorial, keeps dying a lot, and it's like, yo, if you're in the I think he was in the top 10, top 100 or something like that of Path of Exile players based on his level, and he's dying like all the time. It's just like, okay, bro, like come on, you boosted your account. And then the comments were popping off because everybody now knows his name because he's streaming the fucking game. So the chat is like filled with just, you know, you've ruined the country, like you're fucking this and that, just totally rinsing him. And he keeps like sort of blocking the single individual, not turning off the chat completely. And you're like, you silly sausage. And then he spits the dummy and like closes the whole stream down, I think without even saying goodbye, and then blamed it on his internet knocked off. And it's like, wasn't that your own internet you were using? Like,
yeah, well, it would be Starlink, wouldn't it?
Yeah, would have been. Oh my word! Like, I love how this story just keeps going. It's like from the highs of this guy when he was, you know, doing cameos in Iron Man. And everybody's looking at him going, he's going to take us to Mars. He's going to be this. And he's now the most like thin-skinned dude who just cannot, like, you know, do you see the thing where
and
he's
the gaming community is not a community if you have thin skin, bro.
It's really not. Yeah. Like,
especially if you're going to stream. Are you mental?
I know. That's
who is so deluded? They're like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stream and be really bad. And I hope everyone's nice to me.
I know.
What's the level of delusion that you need to think that?
Well, I mean, you know, when you are the richest man on the earth and he's clearly surrounded himself with yes men, you know, I guess that's the point you get to, of a little bit of delusion.
I cannot believe he opened himself up to Twitch.
Oh, it's I just love how he keeps trying to prove that he's a gamer, as if like, you know, come on gamers, like I'm one of you. And it's like, come on, man. Like,
dude, that's insane.
So Elon Musk, if you're listening, sponsor us.
Yeah, man.
You know, we'll Mr. Beast this shit up and give it to some of our listeners, and maybe they'll think you're a good gamer. I don't know.
Maybe we'll do some development sessions with you as well, make you a better gamer. Oh, you sound fucking shit, mate.
Point and click, son.
The oldest mechanics in gaming.
You know, the funny thing about getting your account boosted is you then got boosted through the tutorial, which probably taught you how to play the game.
But also, if I was to get anything boosted, I would at least be a diehard player. Otherwise, what's the fucking point?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, but that
Why
just
would you collect Pokemon cards
like-
if you hate Pokemon?
well, yeah, I mean, you know, I see what you're drawing the thing
Maybe
there.
a
but-
bad analogy, but
well,
you see what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying, but like, it's one of those things going like, anybody who's played games, like, would you feel proud of what's that thing where you play Elden Ring and you don't use shadows or spirits or whatever it is? Suffering. Would you be proud that somebody else plays it all the way to the final boss and then what you stream you winning with no suffering? And it's like, you know, you didn't do it. Like, you know, do you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what this is. Of like, the satisfaction is the journey there,
100%.
not the fucking result. Like, the result is so much more hard fought and tastes better when you know you've worked it.
And the result is actually sometimes sad because the game's over.
Yeah, but I mean,
You're
like,
right, it's all about the journey.
But I mean, it's just this you know, really just speaks to a person of just take the shortcut. You know, what's the shortest route?
Yeah.
You know, and the easiest route, and can I pay my way to the end?
And also, no one asked you to take a route, bro.
Yeah, but no one asked you to
Gaming's
stream
meant to be
Path
fun.
of
What are you
Exile,
doing? Just don't do it. Like,
I
that's so fucking weird to me.
there is a part
I'm
of
going
me.
to lie about something I don't even want to do. What?
He's come up a few times in our pod, and there's just a small part of me thinking, like, how good would it be if Iron Cowboy's Elon Musk? And he press idiot. I'm going to fucking tell these guys off.
Oh, Elon. I might play that game, though. Looked
Yeah,
alright.
do it. Yeah, give it a
I
go.
don't have time. I do have time. No, I don't.
Okay.
We'll
alright.
see.
Well, I mean, I'm still pumping Assassin's
We'll
Creed at the
see.
moment. What else are you playing aside from Assassin's Creed? Usually love running a number of games at the same time.
I'm not at the minute, eh? I get up, go for a run, go to work, come here, and then go home and sleep.
Jeez, it's
At the minute.
these-
And just study in between.
I love how like that guy posted on our Instagram or whatever, being like, you know, two more white guys with a podcast, and I feel like in this episode we're just two white guys on a podcast.
We are just two white guys on the podcast.
We're
but
revolutionizing the podcast.
I'm just so happy we didn't just... Oh, that's the thing. When you came to me, it was like, let's do a podcast. I was like, it's got to be about something then. It's got to be about something and be about that something every week. Because I'm not doing the whole let's just fucking chat about white guy shit. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. I was fearful that was going to be how it came across, but nonetheless, I think you know, we're proud of the pillars and the review system. I think,
Love it.
you know,
Thanks for being here as well.
Yeah, based on the engagement, I think people are picking up what we're putting down, and do continue to write in. You know, even if it's a game from fucking 2016 that got shit reviews, we'll give it a go.
That's it. 100%. 100% media. But most importantly, don't
Oh my god. Be an NPC. And keep leveling up, everybody. Have a great week.
Cheers.